Once upon a quiet evening, when fireflies danced like tiny stars, the forest whispered soft songs of bedtime. Deep among the trees, a little fox named Fifi was about to have a gentle adventure filled with kindness, giggles, and sweet surprises. Story 1. Fifi and the Frog by the Pond. When the sun was melting into the treetops, Fifi the fox trotted through the forest. Her fur shimmered in the soft light, bright orange like autumn leaves, and her tail was big and fluffy like a tiny pillow of dreams. Fifi had something very special, a bright red hat that she wore every day. It kept her warm when the breeze blew through the trees and made her feel brave when she explored new places. But tonight, something was missing. "Oh dear," Fifi said softly, looking around her cozy burrow. "Where did I put my red hat?" She peeked under her blanket of leaves, behind her favorite log, and even inside the hollow stump where she kept her pine cone collection, but the hat was nowhere to be found. So, with a tiny sigh and a determined smile, Fifi set off to find it. Soon she came to a shiny little pond where a frog sat on a lily pad, humming a gentle tune that rippled through the quiet air. "Hello, frog," said Fifi kindly. "Have you seen a little red hat? It's round and bright like the sunset." The frog blinked slowly, his big eyes twinkling in the light of the moon. "Ribbit, yes, little fox," he said in a slow, sleepy voice. "I saw something red floating by the cattails this morning. It drifted past me, then the breeze carried it toward the big oak tree." Fifi's eyes sparkled. "Oh, thank you, frog, that's a wonderful clue." The frog smiled a tiny frog smile. "Ribbit, I hope you find it soon. It looked very cozy." Fifi wagged her tail and nodded. "You're so kind. Good night, frog. Sweet dreams." As she walked away, the frog's song grew softer and slower, like a lullaby fading into the night. The fireflies glowed gently all around, twinkling like sleepy stars, whispering, "Good luck, little fox." Yawning a tiny fox yawn, she whispered, "Time to check near the big oak tree," and padded softly into the moonlight. And now, it's time for our next sleepy story. Story 2. Fifi and the Rabbit's Missing Carrot. Under the silvery light of the moon, Fifi walked deeper into the forest. The trees around her were tall and quiet, their branches swaying gently above her head. She was still looking for her red hat, but she wasn't worried. She hummed the frog's sleepy song as she walked, step by step, through the soft grass. Then, sniff, sniff, she heard a tiny sound behind a bush. It sounded like sniffles. Fifi peeked around the bush and found a little rabbit sitting all alone. His ears drooped low and his nose twitched sadly. "Hello, rabbit," Fifi said in her gentle voice. "Are you all right?" The rabbit rubbed his eyes. "Oh, Fifi," he sighed softly. "I lost my favorite carrot. I was saving it for bedtime snack, but now it's gone." Fifi sat beside him, her tail curling like a soft blanket. "Don't worry," she said kindly. "Let's look for it together. I'm searching for my red hat so we can help each other." The rabbit's ears perked up a little. "Really? You'll help me?" "Of course," said Fifi, smiling. "That's what friends do." So off they went, the fox and the rabbit, looking under bushes, behind rocks, and between soft clumps of moss. The moon shone down, lighting their path with a gentle glow. The crickets sang softly, chirp chirp, as if cheering them on. After a while, Fifi lifted her nose and sniffed. "Wait, do you smell that?" The rabbit sniffed too. It smells like carrot." Together, they followed the scent down a small hill and through a patch of daisies until they came to a cozy little burrow. There, half buried in the soil, was a big orange carrot, the juiciest and brightest you could ever see. "Oh," cried the rabbit happily, "that's my bedtime carrot." He hugged it close and gave Fifi the warmest smile. "Thank you, Fifi. You helped me so much." Fifi giggled softly. "I'm so glad you found it. Now you can have your bedtime snack before the moon gets too sleepy." The rabbit's whiskers twitched. "You're a kind fox," he said sweetly. "I hope you find your hat soon. Maybe it's waiting for you somewhere special." Fifi nodded. Maybe it is. As she stood and patted away, the rabbit snuggled into his burrow, and the stars above sparkled like tiny eyes watching over them. Fifi smiled to herself, her heart warm again. Helping others always made the night feel brighter. And now, it's time for our final sleepy story. Story 3. Fifi and the Surprise on the Big Hill. The forest was quiet now. The frog was asleep on his lily pad, and the rabbit was dreaming of carrots. But Fifi still had one more place to search. In the distance, the big hill stood tall under the moonlight, glowing like silver. Maybe, Fifi whispered to herself, my red hat blew all the way up there. She started to climb. The grass brushed gently against her paws, and the cool night wind whispered in her ears. Step by soft step, she went higher and higher. She thought of the frog's song, the rabbit's smile, and how every creature she met had made her journey feel full of love. When she finally reached the top, she stopped and gasped softly. Right there in a patch of moonlight sat her red hat, but it wasn't empty. Inside, curled up and fast asleep, was a tiny baby bird. Its feathers were fluffy and pale, and it was breathing softly, using the hat as a cozy nest. Oh, Fifi whispered with wonder, what a sweet little surprise. She sat down quietly beside the hat, her heart melting. She didn't want to wake the baby bird, so she lay very still, watching the stars twinkle above them. It's okay, little one, Fifi whispered. You can keep my hat for tonight. The baby bird let out a tiny chirp and snuggled deeper into the soft red fabric. Fifi's eyes grew heavy, her breathing slow and calm. As she rested there, she thought about her night, how she'd met kind friends, helped someone in need, and discovered that sometimes the best surprises happen when you care for others. The wind sighed softly through the trees, wrapping the forest in a blanket of calm. Fifi yawned a long, sleepy fox yawn and whispered, "Good night, little bird. Good night, moon. Good night, forest." The stars twinkled brighter for a moment, like they were saying good night too. And soon, the gentle fox was fast asleep beside her red hat, dreaming of ponds and carrots and songs sung by friendly frogs. And as the stars shimmered above, all our sleepy friends rested in their cozy homes. The forest whispered, "Hush now. Sleep tight. Dream sweetly." As the moon watched over them all, "Good night, little one. Close your eyes, snuggle deep, and let your dreams be soft and happy, just like Fifi's."